put this out so people can see the Zumba.
So what's this called? A Zumba?
Zumba.
And you're one of the only people in...
I'm the only person
in the UK with it?
In the UK, no.
What do I have to search online to see the person?
You won't find it.
No?
I doubt you'll find it.
No, to see someone using it.
Don Pancho.
Okay, Don Pancho.
I can show you before, but maybe...
Yeah, I'll have a little look.
I can't actually do this, is it?
So the left one's a female energy? Wow. What country did you take them from?
This is Mexico, from the Sonora.
Wow. Okay, King, can we just start by just the opening prayer that you do whenever we do Kambo? Because
just do this.
That's what calms me down the most. Come on if you want, bro. Yeah, sorry. We're live and active.
Okay. So when we open up a Kambo ceremony, okay, let me just wait for everybody to be a bit quiet. Okay. When we open up a Kambo ceremony, we always, it's very important always to open up with the prayers. You know, in the indigenous people, it's more of a casual affair, but as it's come into Western society and into, you know, it's taken on a more ceremonial aspect, Kambo. And, you know, and what we've seen with evoking this great spirit of the frog, it's very important to open up with prayers. So we always open up when we're here with the, we always give our love and our thanks to the spirits and the ancestors of this building, to any place that hosts a ceremony should always be thanked first, whether it be a forest or whether it be a house or wherever it is, because there will be spirits there. And there will also be spirits there that need healing. And also our spirits and ancestors follow us around sometimes, okay? We're related to them. So it's very good to purge for them. So we always thank the spirits and the ancestors of our home. So we give all of our love and all of our thanks to the spirits and the ancestors of this building. And we welcome them today to join us and to come into this great healing, and so that all the ancestral lines may be healed. And we thank everybody's spirits and ancestors for being here today in this ceremony, and that all your ancestors and spirits will be healed. We give all of our love and our thanks to our mothers and fathers, our earthly mothers and fathers, and we agree to drop all resentments or issues or perceived issues against them, as they are the source of life and they are the microcosm of the macrocosm, no matter how it has occurred to you. That is the fact and it is the truth. And as soon as we drop these things against our mothers and fathers, it's amazing what will happen in your life. Everything makes sense. We also give our love and our thanks to the great spirit of Bhuvaneshwari, who is the goddess of our home. And we thank her for showering us with love and with abundance. And we thank the unfathomable power of Shirley Sai Baba for always being in our lives, for always guiding us, and may make our wishes and our intentions become manifest. We thank the great spirit of Kambosita, the spirit of the frog. And we ask the frog to come in today and give us great healing, to shower us with luck and with love, with harmony and abundance, to open us up to new paradigms of intelligence and new paradigms of behavior, and that our relationships with all human beings will come from a place of love. And we welcome in and we love the spirit of Grandfather Tobacco, and all of our love to him, and thanking him for his presence today, for being with us and opening us up to the path of knowledge. And we give all of our love and all of our thanks to the great-grandfather Wachuma, and we thank the great-grandfather Wachuma for cutting negativity at the root and for giving us our security. And we thank the great spirit of Grandfather Haikokuri, Grandfather Payodi, and we thank him for all of his integration and protection. We give our love and we give all of our thanks to the great spirit and guiding spirit of Mother Ayahuasca, and we thank her for her never-ending guidance, protection, love and knowledge. And we give all of our love and thanks to Pachamama, and we thank her for the support of all beings on this planet. We extend all of our love and our thanks to the spirits and the ancestors of the Katukina, of the Kachinawa, to the Yawanawa, to the Shabibo, and to the Matsi tribes, to the Garajaya, to the Awa, and the guardians of the forest. And we thank them for the medicines and the knowledge that they bestow upon us. Aho and Amen.
Aho.
Aho.
So, Marco, you worked with me 3 times. I've only just finished a session. My face is a bit puffy from it, a little bit still. What is it about Kambo that attracted you to it? Because it's obviously something that in the West we're not too accustomed to. It's not something that people would consider as a medicine, actually. So what is it specifically about it?
Well, when I first got into, I used to belong to the Church of the Santo Daime. I was a fadado of the Church of the Santo Daime, which is an ayahuasca church from Brazil, from deep into the jungle.
Yes.
That came from Amapia and Accra and these areas. And while I was in there, you know, I'd started to hear about Kambo and the power of Kambo. A little later, a friend of mine who was also in the Santo Daime called Sean Hammerman, was giving out Kambo. And I went to take 2 points. They put 2 points on me, and I couldn't stand it. I didn't know what was going on. I hated it. I didn't purge, and I just, after 10 minutes, got it off me. The next morning when I woke up, everything had changed. Everything was different. You know, I woke up, all my space was completely clear in front of me, totally clear. And every time I closed my eyes, I would see a vision of the frog, or Matsu or Yawanawa warriors, or whatever warriors they were coming into my vision. But then other things started to happen, like my money started to increase a lot. You know, just out of good luck, things would just start happening. People phoning me up saying, oh yeah, we really like what you did, we want to give you some more money. One person even phoned me up and said, look, I'll bring the money over to your house this afternoon. It was that type of stuff. But a lot of money. Like substantial, wasn't like, it was like, you know, in 1,500, 2 grand type stuff, the money coming in. So I thought, okay, something is really going on here. Right? I had good money beliefs anyway, but it was like, if you got good money, it just enhances it. So I then went to, I got in touch with a guy called Giovanni Latanzi, who was working out of Amsterdam at the time. And I went and studied under him, and took a lot of Kambo under him. And then I went and studied with the IAKP twice in Argentina. And I just really started to get into this medicine, and through that we started doing a lot of circles, and things just started to expand. And you know, we went through a lot of different creations with Kambo. Kambo's kind of hybrided us in many different ways. I mean, we were, you know, at first we were coming much from a business place, you know, it's like, okay, what's the pricing and so on and so forth. And once we started to drop that, the ethos of the medicine really started to change. Right. Once we started to come into donation, it really, everything started to shift for us, in the sense that people were really getting major healings. And we really believe that this has been a part of it. You know, and allowed us to work with a lot of people. And it's also allowed a lot of people to come, you know, they have a great saying in Mexico, it's for one of the medicines that I've trained in, for those who can and cannot afford. Right? For those who can and cannot afford. And it's a really beautiful saying, because for those who can afford should pay. For those who cannot, you know, we take a view on, because medicine will get them stronger to a point where they can start to afford more, or not, or they'll start to move their own way. So that is the way that we like to work with the medicine.
It's something that after my first experiences, I feel so much clearer in life, and I feel it's actually quite mentally powerful. I feel I have a lot of clarity. I feel like I have a lot more faith actually in my life purpose. I felt after the second time specifically. Even now we're about 20 minutes since I've had the medicine removed from my arm, and I feel just so grounded. It's important to say actually, could you explain what the point is and a gateway on the arm?
Yeah, the gateway is where we burn to put the medicine on. So if you see these points here, we take a little incense stick, which is like pure Nepali incense, so it's got no additives in it, and we make the burn by flicking, ching, ching, and they're very light burns, and then we add the medicine to these burns so it goes into the system, into the blood system.
Is there any reason women have them not near the arm at first?
It's just tradition. I mean, sometimes no, we do put Kambo on the arm, but by tradition, men take it on the arm and women take it on the legs. It's just indigenous tradition. But there's another thing, is that it's further away from the heart. Okay.
It's protecting the heart.
So we're protecting the heart. So the medicine comes in a bit slower. But once a woman's taken it on the leg a couple of times, then they normally move to the arm, and different places on the body for what they may be facing in their life.
Where do you see the future of the West regarding this kind of medicine and this way of healing ourselves as like sentient beings?
I think with Kambo is a legal medicine. Many of them aren't. They should be, but many of them aren't, right? And they're not legal because they fall under a psychoactive act that actually was trying to protect people from things like, you know, bad chemists that were putting spice and evil things out. So they tried to, you know, it was just an unfortunate act. But Kambo, I think we're very much at the tip of the iceberg with Kambo. I don't think it's even started. I mean, there's more people doing Kambo.
Yeah.
20 years from now, you know, if you keep going with it.
NHS.
Yeah, I think that, unless they ban it.
Yeah.
Okay, or you get a death on it or something like that, which will be unfortunate, but there's some unscrupulous practitioners out there that could actually do that. And safety has to come first in Kambo. Safety is so important because Kambo can be a life and death medicine, and Kambo is contraindicated. If someone comes to me and they have a serious heart issue, or like just in your case where you had a murmur, we had to be very safe, right?
Yeah. We're still being safe.
Yeah. You know, people are having chemotherapy. You know, we have to be very, very careful. Low blood pressure. It's not contraindicated, but I have to go very careful, very low, because, you know, they can faint.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know what we're doing, and that can cause an issue. But Kambo, will open up because it brings in a lot of opportunity. And also the way that we like to work with Kambo is that what you got in the West, what we've gone away from, is community. So people operate a lot out of isolation. Right? Everything's in isolation. And isolation is the worst thing for people, because if you look at what addictions are, they all come from isolation. I don't like the word addiction. It's more about dependency. And these dependency are phases, but they come from a point where we have been isolated. So if I've got a guy that comes to see me, for example, it might be in a he's not in a relationship, or he's in an isolated relationship like a marriage. They no longer sleep together, he's down the back of the house, and he's got his phone and he's addicted to porn. Okay, because that's the only thing. That's happening in isolation. So once a person can share that, that's where we start, that's why we do the shares first. It starts to break the power of it, because suddenly it's out. Wow. I mean, no one cares what a person does. I mean, I don't care what they do. Well, they do, and they're shamed by it. People get shamed by what they call their addictions. But as soon as it's out in the open, it begins to be... So the power of our work starts before we even...
Before the cameras, I was about to say. Could you, just because we don't have much time, just explain what is actually, for someone who doesn't have a clue, it allows you to purge. What's the significance of purging?
So Kambo is a medicine that is a secretion from the frog, okay, in the Amazon. This frog has no predators, right? It's the only species that has no predator.
Wow.
So no one goes near it. It's a very, very friendly frog. It will come down from the tree, it will talk with you. They mate about 10 times a year. When they mate, they put their arms around each other. They're like little alien beings. Okay, there's billions of them. There's no chance of them being extinct.
Wow. And
what they do is that when we put the medicine on, they release what is peptides into the body. 150 peptides. You know, they've got peptides in there that are strong, 100 times stronger than morphine. Now, if you take an antibiotic, if you look at an antibiotic, what an antibiotic's programmed to do is break into the cell. So it's like a, what do they call it? The police call it breaking, whatever. But it's a breaking, right? So they smash through the cell. What the Kambo does, the peptides, what it does when it goes in, it locks onto the cell and asks permission to be allowed in.
Wow.
And the cell opens up. Like, it actually asks permission. Doesn't feel like it's asking permission.
It doesn't feel
but
like
it does ask permission to be allowed in, and it opens up.
Wow.
Okay? And then what it does, it scans the body for what is no longer needed, and then the purge comes, and then you purge up, and then 20 minutes later you feel fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My last question, because it's something that a lot of people ask me when I first came here, and I told people online, was specifically with you as well. Do you make sure that you don't overstretch the frogs and they're well looked after or cared for?
How do you mean?
because a lot of people were skeptical, saying that they wouldn't do it just because they felt like the frogs just get murdered and they make like factory farming.
The frogs don't
bangers on frogs.
The frogs don't get murdered at all, and they're in their natural environment. And what they do, I mean, look, Kambo is much bigger than it used to be, and it's going to get bigger. Right? Kambo will get bigger because it makes people feel good, right? And it opens up opportunity. But what it does, you know, there are dangers with this, but think about what they do to animals to make a Tylenol tablet.
Yeah.
You know, people take Tylenol. So they stretch the frog out for about 10 minutes and they just play with it to get the excretion out. So it's nervous, so it feels like it's a bit under attack, and then it gives the medicine. And then, if they've milked it, they will put a tag on it so it doesn't get milked again for a certain period of time. So it builds up its protection.
Yeah.
But do I see problems with it? Probably in the future. Right up until now, no. But you know, people get greedy. Greed gets in everywhere.
Yeah.
Greed gets in everywhere. It hurts everybody. And is it getting into the villages? And is it getting into the mutzes? I know for sure it is. So it's, you know, people are going to start making a lot of money out of Kambo sticks in the future, and it's just the way it's going to go.
I know, yeah. Something like beef, it's hundreds of pounds for a session.
Yeah.
And that's why I love you so much, because it's like you, especially the donations, it allows people in the West as well to really work with it and actually get to know the medicine instead of dropping £200 every
really,
Sunday.
if you were spending that much money, you wouldn't be able to do it regularly. You just wouldn't be able to do it regularly. And what it does, it allows people to do it regularly, and that's what we want to do, is to give the medicine regularly. You know, abundance comes to us in so many different ways, right? And this is where people become very limited. Yeah? You know, if you're giving out, you know, it comes from all different areas in life. I mean, I don't live a bad life.
Yeah.
Right? And I really believe that the life that I've been given is because it comes from a giving heart. And it's very important. And we've seen miraculous things. And we've seen people come many times and get really strong and their whole lives change. But they wouldn't have been able to do that if they got a job £150 a time. They just wouldn't have even been able to conceive it. They'd take the experience once and that would be it. Yeah.
Well, for your works, for us, I say I love you so much.
Love you too.
Thank you so much for opening your home.
And thank you.
I love you.
Love you, man. Thanks very much.
Left to left, heart to heart.
And thank you.
Thank you. You're amazing.
That was totally amazing. I didn't want to speak while you were talking.